I think that'll do it. Let's check it out. So, all right, there we go. Checking it all out. Audio's working. What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Son of a Tech once again. We're in my temporary studio. How do you like it? We got all these tech related photographs on the wall. You know what I mean? It's legit. It's legit, you know? So, what's the deal? I am going to be trying to set up some sort of morning show. I don't know if it's going to be daily. It's definitely not going to be on the weekends. It would be basically around this time, maybe earlier, maybe later. Obviously, I am figuring out that I'm conflicting with some other content creators' days, so I don't want to necessarily, or times, so I don't necessarily want to do that. Hopefully I can figure out how I'm going to do that to make sure I'm not stepping on any toes, and that's something that I'm just going to have to figure out with y'all, what times work best and so on. I think that sometime between 8 and 10 a.m. is good, and then we'll run for an hour, so it could start at 8, end at 9, start at whatever it is. What we're going to be doing is basically utilizing this time to set up and find topics for videos that we will be creating. Part of that is going to be reviewing things like, of course, the current market as it sits, what coins are growing, specifically proof of work coins. We're going to be looking at miner updates if there have been any. And then, like I said, it's going to be across just a certain amount of time, just depending on what my schedule is like, and we'll kind of go from there. So I will have jujitsu, so we'll definitely end before jujitsu. I also don't like waking up extremely early, so this time felt pretty good, like 9:45 to 10:45 a.m., which gives me a chance to get up, eat, and do all of that stuff. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, behind me, I actually took the 3090 to go put on a rig yesterday off of the test bench. I'm going to take the test bench to the farm today, along with the camera and some recording equipment, to test the latest release of Gminer, which we are going to be going over the patch notes here right after a word from our sponsor. Yes, we have a sponsor for a live video. Hopefully this works without technical difficulty. So here we go. Today's sponsor is Crypto.com. Crypto.com is my go-to centralized exchange for liquidating my crypto assets. With their Crypto.com Visa debit card, I can load up my mined Ethereum to pay for power and other operating costs quickly while earning up to 8% cash back. In addition to the Visa debit card, there are additional fiat options, including wire transfers, to easily receive your profits. Crypto.com also offers additional services, including trading and even staking, to earn additional revenue on your investments. Join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost by using my affiliate link in the description for a $25 funding bonus. Or enter referral code SOAT at sign up for the same bonus. Remember, cryptocurrency investment comes with significant risks, so do your own research. Awesome, it worked right off the bat. So I also am working on intros for the show and segment portions. I'm not fully clear on the segments that we're going to have. I'm going to work with you guys on what those segments will be, and hopefully we'll get it figured out. I am not drinking coffee, but I do have a Monster here, and it's almost gone, and then a water, because I need water. So let's hop into the first topic today, of course, and get it going. We have a release for Gminer here. So this is released 2 hours ago. So if you guys aren't on top of it, get on top of it now. It's release version 2.71. I will be taking the test bench out and trying to get some tests going today for you guys. Here are the bullet points. Improved light hash rate performance, added 2 modes, the switch LHR mode, a 0, and that is the energy save mode, and then the maximal performance mode, which is going to be switched on with a 1. Miner display LHR unlock percentage in statistics table now. So there's an LHR row. You can adjust it by doing the LHR switch option. Now LHR tune switch, meaning GPU unlock percentage for compatibility LHR tunes below 10 mapped to new default values. Now I don't know what that is, so we'll have to kind of probably play with it to understand. And then if light hash rate auto tune enabled miner tries increase LHR unlock percentage while mining. Oh, okay, hold on. If LHR auto tune. Okay, got it. LHR auto tune enabled miner tries to unlock. So you can do the auto tune there. Improved Raven coin performance, fixed floating hash rate. So that's interesting, especially with where the market's at right now. And then displays maximum difficulty of shares for each GPU. Now, the link to the latest release for Gminer will be down in the description below. So go ahead and check it out. Let me know what your guys' results are. I'll be testing the 3060s as soon as I get out to the farm today. It's going to be a little different. I don't have screen caps and stuff like that. It's going to be a little awkward. I'm still kind of in disarray at the farm. We don't have official internet yet, but eventually we do have a 150 square foot office that will be our new recording studio. And I'm still waiting on septic, etc. as well. So there you go. Thanks everybody for the likes and hope you guys are enjoying it. So Gun Muse, thanks for the donation. Building my first S9 Pro yourself. You just bought an S9 and like a power supply and hooking it up. So that is kind of a funny note. I actually get it. I understand. You actually do build them because you right? You buy the ASIC, you get the cables that go like to a breakout board onto a power supply, provided you can get a bit main power supply. But even if you got that, then you're plugging the 6-pin PCIe connectors into the ASIC miner. And then obviously like it's kind of building it. As GPU and like, well, just in general PC builders, they might not consider like setting up an ASIC to be building an ASIC. Just kind of an interesting note. It's probably a little too much PCMR, and for the uninitiated, that's PC Master Race. They'd probably scoff at building an S9, right? So unless you're actually like building one, and then that's nuts, and you should make a YouTube video on it. That's what I think. But there you go. So, all right. So let's talk about the top 3 coins today. This is impressive. Over the past 24 hours, the coins that have increased the most, according to CoinMarketCap, has been Litecoin with a 22% increase. Let's go Litecoin. I'm excited to see that. You guys should know on the channel, I've always kind of been a Litecoin fan just for payments. Also, I'm merge mining it with Dogecoin. Definitely go check out those videos on this channel if you want to know how to merge mine Litecoin and Dogecoin. Then Dash is number 2, which is nice to see because that Dash has some privacy features to it. So seeing anything go up in value that has privacy features in it at a time when, you know, the global economic like societal forces at play are kind of in the negative as far as like losing our security and privacy. Seeing anything that's within security and privacy realm go up is always encouraging because it means to me that people are paying attention, hopefully. But of course it is Dash. It's not as good as some of the other ones. It's just cool that it has some privacy features. And then the big one for the proof of work guys, technically Litecoin is proof of work, but that's ASIC. We're talking about GPU proof of work. Now, there are ASICs for ET hash. They need to, at Ethereum Classic, in my humble opinion, kick all of the ASICs off, like now, but at least before June with the merge for Ethereum. And they could really do themselves some good with that. That being said, it's number 3. It's up 14%, and that is up to 62.99, which is pretty incredible to see Ethereum Classic pumping like that. I'll stop real quick and say, Taran R, thanks for the donation. I don't even know what denomination that is, to be honest with you. But thank you for the 100, whatever those are. And I will. India. Okay. Is that rupees then? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. I know cryptocurrencies better than I know fiat currencies, which is funny. My bad. All right, so let's talk about this. I found this article here. I was trying to find reasons that Ethereum Classic is pumping. Honestly, look, we've talked about this before. We'll just beat the dead horse as much as possible. Everybody's going to look like a genius right now because we are in a bull run. Meaning everybody that's telling you to buy X coin, more than likely X coin is going to go up in value. Almost everything goes up in value during this time due to the pairings and the coupling of Bitcoin to almost every other cryptocurrency, thereby basically saying if the price of Bitcoin goes up, the price of everything else goes up, at least in terms of fiat. Now, decoupling has started to help or break off. There are decentralized exchanges that are offering swaps between, different types of coins. There are exchanges offering different swaps between different coins. And that is starting to let the market move outside of Bitcoin a little bit. But in general, that hasn't fully happened yet with any coin. So if you see the price of Bitcoin go up, it just goes to reason that everything else will go up because of the pairings of Bitcoin with altcoins. So be careful. If you see somebody that is saying oh, this went up and I was right about it 5 days ago, or this went up and I was right about it 1 day ago, just be careful. They're shills. They're trying to get you to watch their channel. They're trying to get you to subscribe and pay for their memberships and watch their ads like we do on this channel. That's what they're trying to do. That's just the way it works, right? So be very careful with trading channels right now. Very, very, very careful, especially with trading channels. Be careful with mining channels too, because here's what's going to happen with mining channels. Things are getting profitable, really profitable, okay? And the problem with that is there's going to be a lot of encouragement to profit switch and profit hop between different altcoins and so on. Keep in mind, on the last run, when all the mining was going on and we were hopping and I'm guilty of this as well, hopping to Rio and hopping to this and that and this and that. At the end of the day, really the only one that fully survived the bear market was pretty much Ethereum, outside of a few outliers or whatever. I think the ones that rebranded as well. So you have Firo, which was a rebrand that survived, but there's not a ton that survived. The other one that survived, which is important, is going to be Flux, which was Zcoin, which runs, we've talked about Flux yesterday. Anyways, also Mind Your Biz came out with a best GPU to mine Flux. I don't know what it is. I didn't watch his video yet, but a shout out to Mind Your Biz for that. Sebs FinTech, thank you for the 219 SEC. And guys, go check out Sebs and his channel. He is doing a fantastic job, a much better job than I'm doing, especially right now. I'm going to try to catch up and start getting my content back on track here, though, for you guys too, so I can keep up with Mr. Sebs. And then Jorgen Phillips, thanks for the $20. $20 is $20, bro. And thanks, guys, for the support. All right, so let's get back into... I wanted to put those disclaimers out there because I see a lot of this going on and a lot of things that can go south right now. Liquidating your assets, too, is going to be important. Being able to liquidate your Flux, which, thanks to... By the way, Flux is a great one. I'm not going to lie. Because their wallet is insane. It ties into exchanges. You can easily get Flux swapped in for, a currency that will go to a KYC exchange for exchange really easily. The fees are cheap. Flux is looking good as far as being able to liquidate. Holding on to Flux is going to be a little bit more risky, right? So if you're mining, you want to just keep that in mind. Always mine most profitable, swap for what you believe in, go from there. All right, so let's talk more about this article. It says, if you invested $1,000 in Ethereum Classic after its breakup with Ethereum, how much would you have now? So if you guys aren't familiar, essentially Ethereum Classic is just a fork of Ethereum that kept the original DAO hack. We have an entire video on it that describes about the DAO hack and all of that. Definitely go check that out. This is talking about if you would have invested $1,000 after the hack, where would you be at now? So it's the rebranded legacy chain of the original Ethereum that emerged after a contentious hard fork dating back to 2016. Excuse me, I'm getting a little sniffle. The token ETC came into being alongside ETH on July 20th, 2016, and its main function revolves around smart contracts. While ETH is heading towards a proof-of-stake model, Ethereum Classic is set to retain a proof-of-work mechanism. Ethereum Classic has fixed supply caps at 210 million Ethereum Classic. Digital Currency Group CEO Barry Silbert is a well-known proponent of Ethereum Classic. I don't know where this is coming from, but I might need to blow my nose. One sec. Sorry about that. So they have cats here, and I'm not a cat guy. My body doesn't respond well to cats. So a big note, I think it is important to note that Ethereum Classic does have a fixed supply cap, which is not true for Ethereum, just to be clear. Ethereum Classic is the 29th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization as per CoinMarketCap data. It has a market capitalization of over 8 billion. Sam's, thanks for the $2 super chat. And congrats on 500 mega hash, sir. So the cryptocurrency touched an all-time high of $176 in May. At press time, it traded 65.3% below that level at $60.78. Over 24 hours, it has spiked 10%. Actually, as we saw, it's more like 14% and continuing to go up. So it's even more since this article was written just like an hour ago. So the investment, if you invested $1,000 on July 24th, 2016, around the time Ethereum and Ethereum Classic parted ways, you would receive nearly 1,076 Ethereum Classic, as each ETC was valued at 93 cents. Those tokens would have appreciated a whopping 6,443% at press time and be worth $65,439.28 in US. I don't know why it refreshed like that. Had you chosen to invest in the Vita Buterin-backed ETH instead, which is, the main Ethereum chain, you would have received 78.43 ETH as ETH traded at $12.75. Today, your ETH investment would be worth $378,196, given ETH traded 2% higher over 24 hours at $4,822. This translates into a gain of 37,719%. So obviously, ETH would be the one that you would want to do if you're just purchasing. The idea that I would like to try to figure out, and maybe you guys could help me out. What if you were mining Ethereum Classic as opposed to mining Ethereum for that time? How big of a difference would it be? Would it be similar in differences? Or what's going on with the, difficulty fluctuations and so on? What's interesting is that we do have a pretty big pump in Ethereum Classic, and there isn't a huge reason for it at this specific time. But is that going to help miners? And that's kind of the question that we're always asking. And unfortunately, it's not great, right? So per 100 mega hash of Ethereum, you get $8.30 right now. And then per 100 mega hash of Ethereum Classic, it's $4.36. If we take a look at, of course, the difficulty charts for Ethereum Classic, they have yet to shift at all. We do have an increase in price, right? But we don't have a shift in difficulty. So because there's no shift in difficulty going up or down, the profitability went up a little bit, but not enough to really compete with anything else at this point. Like even if we're talking about, well, we'll do that right now. Even if we're talking about Flux, Ravencoin, all of that, right? So your standard GPUs right now, guys, if we're taking a look in a, like let's say a 3070, still more profitable on Ethereum. And this is true for pretty much everything down the line. Like if we did even the latest latest AMD 6800 XT, you got Ethereum still kind of like pretty much holding that up or whatever. Let's do a 5700 XT. That's the majority of my farm, so this is usually what's going to determine what I stick with. You still got Ethereum way up there. Fero's like half the cost or price. The only time that I noticed that essentially you get a different result at this time is with the 2080 Ti. So with the 2080 Ti, Flux becomes more profitable at $4.64. I have two 2080 Ti's. I have not tuned them up to put them on Flux, but I am considering it. If that's a project you guys would like to see, let me know. I have some others that like I think I may try to put on there, whatever it is, like I need to reconfigure the rigs, but here's like the 3080 Ti's. But they're good on Ergo, not Flux, right? Like Flux is way down here. So it's kind of awkward. Which actually I forgot that, yeah, non-light hash rate cards is what I was talking about before. The light hash rate cards are going to function a little bit different, right? So 3080L, is it ETH on the, that is the light hash rate model, got it. And 3070 Ti, Ravencoin. It's really hard to pick them. You know what I mean? At this point, it's really honestly like if you're running a farm, because of, you see there's only like, it's like take the 3070 Ti, Ravencoin's more profitable, at least according to what to mine. Now, some of these numbers can be off too, because what to mine's not always tuned in right. But then you look at like the 3080 Ti and it's Ergo. But then you look at the 2080 Ti and it's Flux. But it's not within like, it's not beating the Ethereum profitability by so much that it makes sense in splitting your rigs up and micromanaging them. Because splitting your rigs up and micromanaging them is going to make it much more difficult to manage, especially at scale. Like if you have like a farm that's even, my size isn't massive, but it's big enough to where if I'm trying to manage not only like rigs on different coins, but also managing, of course, tracking those coins, when they pay out, where they pay out, how much and all that, how much I traded them for, and adding that additional work on, maybe it's not worth it for like, if you take a look at what to mine, 2 cents more on a 3070 Ti. Or if we went to like a 3080 Ti, let's look. Yeah, maybe 4 cents more. It's just not worth it, right? Just leave it on ETH and be done. And then Paul, you do bring up a good point. What to mine is, and that's what I was saying earlier, like what to mine is off. It's not always tuned in on this, but you have to keep in mind that it's probably less tuned for Flux than it is for ETH. So, and that's kind of like logical fallacies that you have to, like, we have to deal with these kind of calculators, right? Because it's like, well, I know I can get 62 mega hash a second on ETH out of this, but do you know what you get out of Flux, right? Is the Flux number accurate? So it's always going to be difficult like that, just to be clear. So I hear what you're saying, and you are correct in a certain way, but you want to be careful because that goes both ways, essentially. We need to do more vetting, essentially. Good morning, Rebel Spirit. All right. All right, let's do it. So, Raptoreum. I wanted to look at this because all right. The 3900X is $449 right now, 12 core, 24 thread. We're talking about this because of Raptoreum. A lot of you guys are interested in that. But what I had seen is, I believe it was the 5800X, 8 core, 16 thread. It's down to 386. It was on better sale than that. Hold on. Bear. All right. Well, it was. But okay. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore. But let's go ahead and run it. So I was going to do one 5800X. Daily return of $1.19. And one 3900. 214. So now we pull the calculator up. And we pull. I'm gonna run the math real quick. Quick math. 386. What was it divided by? $1.19, right? It's 324-day payoff on that one. Not good. Oh, I was doing that wrong anyways. But anyways, we'll fix it right now. 201. Yeah, it's still much better. So I had seen some 5800Xs that were like dropped below 300 for a little bit. And so I wanted to pull those up, but that is already done. So I'm behind right now. That's my bad, guys. So it looks like still 3900X is what you're looking at. If you can get it for this price right here. The 449, which in reality that's a refurbished, so it's really gonna be 509. But even with 509, let's look. 510 divided by 201, 253, still better. That's where we're at. Anyways, I wanted to look at it. If you guys want this calculator, I'll throw it down over here. Boom. You've been picking up 3900X sub for $375 on eBay. I picked up a couple for $299, and that was really good. They should be dropping more. So because of the release of 12th gen, be careful. The 5000 series CPU should be dropping more in price really soon. Check profits. Net hash has jumped big since yesterday. Is it it's not on here, is it? No, it is. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Well, it's been climbing since the 20th, but that's crazy. Yeah, up to 76 mega hash a second. It's pretty nuts. Breaking into CPU mining now. So I still have a problem. Look, man, CPU mining is hard. Because you really only typically have like a single CPU per rig, right? Unless you're going to go server grade, and then trying to determine what the best server grade is for that is kind of hard too, because typically also like the server motherboards are going to take a lot more power. Anyways, I'll play with it some more. Right now, all I've been doing with Raptoreum is this. I have like these little boards or whatever that only hold like 4 GPUs or whatnot. But I'll throw GPUs on them and mine with the mine Raptoreum. And that's on 3 rigs. So I have like a 5800X, a 5600X, and a 5900X. And then I have the 5950 in my main rig that I think I'm going to be swapping this motherboard into my main rig, I think. I like the 12900K a lot. I think it is better than the 5950X. It also makes more sense financially to be mining on the 5950X. I don't know. Just that's kind of what I'm thinking. So, Jacob asks, have you read into the AMD Instinct? I know there was a big drop over the weekend. No, I haven't. Kirby says a lot of companies throw out old workstations. Sometimes they have decent CPUs like the 7700. Yeah, you can find those, especially right now, 7700s and 8700s. And caveman mining, I do not have any helium mining at this point. No, I do not. All right, so let's do a review of my farm so you guys can be happy-go-lucky and check that out. I know people are always asking me, so I'll give you the current state of it. It's kind of fluctuating a bit. Let me make sure there's no real information on there that I'd be worried about. No. All right. There we go. So currently my farm is sitting at a 24-hour effective average of 5 gigahash. That's what we are currently at. And the estimated daily earnings right now is $442.91, which is the equivalent of 0.09 Ethereum. Then, of course, we have power to worry about, as well as, of course, rent. So I rent the place, essentially, that we're mining out of. We've talked about it in the mining vlogs and all of that. It's about $1,600 a month. So that's about 4 days of mining, right? Something around there. And then the rest of it we can put into profit. Then our power cost right now is 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour. So that's where that's at. And we are at 15 kilowatts on the farm. Now that doesn't include this other rig, which is on SMOS, because the RX 6000s will not work on Hive no matter what I try. So they are on simple mining right now. And that is going to be the... Can I show you the... SMOS is kind of tricky like that. Anyways, another couple hundred mega hash a second there. I do have some rig issues. We got a reboot. I'll be out there today checking it out. GPU 3 dead. This one's probably fine. It just happened once 9 hours ago. And then we have 2 rigs with an overheating GPU. This one looks like it's this one right here. So we're going to click in. We have some invalids. We probably need to turn the overclocks down. But it's more than likely this 3070 is overheating. So we'll need to pull that 3070 out. And let's look at this one. Is this one saying the same thing? This one has one overheating GPU as well. It is probably this 5700 XT. So we're going to pull this 5700 XT out as well. That's kind of where I'm at as far as that goes. Let's check CoinDesk, and then I'll answer some questions in chat. Nothing interesting in CoinDesk, I guess. This looks like the only mining one. Goose, thanks for the $20. $20 is $20. Riot Blockchain, Hive outperform crypto miners as Bitcoin Ether rally. The two crypto miners are outperforming peers as Bitcoin and Ether trade near record levels. All right, so Riot Blockchain and Hive Blockchain surged Tuesday, outperforming crypto mining peers with Bitcoin and Ether, the native token for Ethereum, near all-time highs. Shares of Riot climbed more than 6% as of 10:20 a.m. in New York, while other Bitcoin miners were mostly little changed as the price of Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency, traded above $67,000. German miner Northern Data, which sold its Whinstone mining facility in Texas to Riot, surged in Europe after saying the company received auditor KPMG's approval on its annual and consolidated financial statements for last year. Northern Data sold the facility to Riot in April and said it will own about 12% of the outstanding common stock of Riot. According to a recent presentation by Northern Data, it has 1.25 million shares of Riot. Meanwhile, one of the biggest Ethereum miners, Hive, has also rose 6% as Ether touched an all-time high in trade near $4,800. So it's just basically I mean, come on. The price of crypto went up. Obviously, the price of crypto mining companies went up as well. That's pretty much all we have as far as that goes. So there we go. That's the crypto mining morning. Let me know if you like that kind of format. We cover if we got any updates to miners that you guys should check out. We cover the top gaining cryptocurrencies for the day. We try to find some relevant articles on it. And then we take a look at, of course, a little bit of what's profitable and what's not. And then I can kind of go from there for you guys and figure out what we want. Terminator says, are you planning on, and so now I'll just answer questions for a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Terminator says, are you planning to mine more Flux? I haven't mined any Flux, and no, I'm not planning on mining Flux at this time. Well, I take that back. We have one rig of GTX 1063 gigs that, if given enough time, I will have up and running again and on the network for Flux. It will be going on Flux. So, but that is kind of where we're at. So let's see. Well, try to tag me if you have questions and we'll go from there. Mano Drizzle says, how often do you stream? Not often, but we are going to be setting up streaming the morning mining crypto probably, honestly, probably daily for a little while here on the weekdays. Before I head to jiu-jitsu, and then I'm going to be trying to get supplemental other videos out in the evenings as well. So we're just going to kind of go from there and figure it out. Is cheap residential power in Texas? Depends on where you're at in Texas. It really does, Jay Nunley. You just need to go do your research and figure it out. So at that point, you're just going to have to call. You can Google through a lot of it. And just try to find like a certain area and then find their industrial rates and then go from there. Aggregator says exit strategies. There is no exit. There's no exit. Exit strategy, sell your equipment and quit. But there is no exit. So that's kind of like the weird part. It's hard for me to explain because I did exit before. Exiting doesn't... If you can continue to mine and figure out how to go through a bear market, I think that you're going to be better off. At least if I look historically at the people that did on the last cycle, you're going to be better off on the next cycle. Now, what should your exit strategy be? Maybe your exit strategy is get rid of the old equipment. Obviously, like, part of the reason people do GPU mining is because you are easily or more easily able to sell used GPUs than you are able to sell used ASICs. And that's kind of why people do it. I know it says, Son of a Tech, what do you think about the new 3D Vcache? I don't know. I don't know at this point. I need to look it all up. Sorry. Mike Howell, Son of a Tech, thoughts on solo mining Firo? And, you know, Red Panda Mining is doing it. I guess if you want to go do it, do it. I hear it's more profitable. But I only read the title. Also, where are you going to liquidate it? How much of it can you liquidate? How fast? There could be some problems there. Crypto Rev says, Son of a Tech, how do you see ETH 2.0 affecting mining? When is this happening? What is your best guess? I've made like 1,000 videos on it. You can go watch any of them. They're all still true. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, as far as everything we can see, we know that the GPUs will get moved over to other coins. More than likely, whatever coin is most profitable, but that will drive up the difficulty of those coins, which will reduce the profits. And a lot of people will probably quit mining at the end of the day. That's what's going to happen. Computer Tech, thank you for the $5. Why do you use flexpool.io as opposed to Ethermine or Hivepool or any other pools? Well, primarily because they're the best profits right now, but you can go to Mining Pool Profits and check. Here you go, I'll show you. So Crazy Pool's the highest right now. It looks like last 90 days. And then Ethermine was in second for the last 90 days. Flexpool is pretty far down, all the way at the bottom actually for the last 90 days. I was doing Crazy Pool, but look, I had talked about why I'm not mining into Crazy Pool. It's because they have tons of connection issues with my rigs. Now, I talked to one of the pool devs or operators. There was a language barrier. Kind of sounded like he was being a jerk. He thought I was being a jerk. Think there's some miscommunication there. However, my understanding is that it utilizes the NiceHash protocol, which is switched on in each miner differently, which is why you have to change the stratum on every single miner you use, which is a pain in the butt. And then in addition to that, they had their banning policy strict, which is why half of my rigs got banned. But my rigs got banned. I'm not making money. I make a video about it and they get mad at me for making a video about their product not working. So as far as like that goes, I am happy with doing the reasoning behind, you know, the reasoning that they gave me, like we just gave you guys here in like a full video. But at the end of the day, it's a business. If I can't connect to your pool, I'm not going to use your pool. All right? And I am going to tell everybody why I'm not using your pool. And to get offended about that as opposed to just fixing the problem doesn't help anybody anyways. So that's where we're at. As far as the rest of the days, it looks like last 60 days, Ethermine was more profitable. Last 30 days, Ethermine. Last 21 days, Crazy Pool. Last 14 days, Crazy Pool. Last 7 days, CET, which this one's been a new one that's been popping up more lately, which we'll add this to the format as well. It's a European pool, but it doesn't have any MEV. It's very weird. Anyways, and then last 3 days, ZET. So you can go here and kind of see what they would be for each given one. So right now, Ethermine is paying better than Flexpool. 2Miners has really come up lately a lot. I think that is because they're getting more hash rate because of their payout methods for Bitcoin. So that's been helping a lot as well. Alexander says, what do you do with your ETH? Are you staking it? No, I'm not going to stake ETH 2.0. That's a dumpster fire, dude. I sell it for Bitcoin. Why would I want... Look, man, Ethereum has treated everybody like trash, especially the miners like myself. They scoff at you. They're a small group of people that think they know everything, and they treat everybody else like trash. They constantly adjust the monetary policy in a system that they claim where code is supposed to be law. So they've lied about that for ages. I have no respect and no trust in that team to handle anything. No. And with staking, it's just going to become more centralized. Bitcoin doesn't have that centralized thing. The thing that ETH has that sets it apart is that it's a programmable blockchain, and it was the first. So because it was programmable blockchain, you know, because you have the tokens and the smart contracts and the blah, 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 and it was the first, most developers are developing for it. Therefore, that's why it's at where it's at. I'm not saying it's going to go down in price. I just don't have any trust in that team to not be centralized and to manipulate the monetary system over and over again. Imagine if you have 32 ETH locked up and they manipulate you got to keep in mind, that investment's locked up. At least with GPUs, you can just move it, right? The way, the staking will work is that's going to be locked up. It's going to take you time to move it. You're going to have to liquidate it. By the time you realize anything's wrong with the network or anything along those lines, you're probably not going to be able to get it out before the entire rest of the market is dumped on. At least with mining, you just switch the coin you're mining or sell the GPUs. Proof of stake ETH doesn't sound fun to me. That sounds like a stressful nightmare where you have to be awake 24/7 monitoring the market and making sure that they don't crash and destroy the network in the meantime. Right? You got to put so much, and that's, guys, what is that? 4,800 times 32. Yeah, there are going to be the pools, but right now there's no self-custodial pools. So that's even more dangerous. So if it's a non-self-custodial pool, you're looking at a $153,000 investment that you're trusting in a small group of centralized people that have historically manipulated the monetary system for their benefit multiple times. That's what you're doing. You're making a $150,000 investment into a small group of people that have modified the monetary system to their benefit multiple times. You got to be careful. Then your other option is, proof of stake. You can stake within a pool. Right now, currently, as it sits, and hopefully this will change, there are no self-custodial pools. Self-custody of cryptocurrency is the primary function that matters. So if you don't have custody of your crypto, not your keys, not your crypto, you don't control it. You may as well not consider it yours. So you don't want to use these pools yet. Now that hopefully is coming down the line, right? And that's going to be really, hopefully, that would be something where you could put a smaller investment in and kind of leverage it that way. Alexander says, son of a tech, swapping to BTC over something like DOT or Solana. You're talking about the difference between a store of value and an investment in what I would consider a company or a project. So I like Polkadot a lot. I think everybody knows that. Solana, you know, I like it as well. I just don't have as much experience with it. I need to read more white papers and really see if they got a wiki and see what, I mean, obviously the development for Solana has been pretty good from what I can tell. That being said, that would be like an investment in a project. I don't consider it like a long-term store of value or anything along those lines. I mean, Bitcoin is the first, and Bitcoin is the only one that functions like it does for a few reasons. One is because of the supply cap. Another is because it's not, I mean, while we could argue centralization through ASIC mining and Bitmain, you can't really argue centralization from a decision standpoint. It just is, it seems to adhere as close to the original white paper of Bitcoin as possible compared to any other cryptocurrency. There are other ones that have tried, you know, I guess what would be a good example? Ravencoin would be a good example of that. But, you know, Bitcoin's the OG, man. And I'm really pumped on seeing... Here's the other deal about Bitcoin. Just to give you guys an idea. The reason it was created is what is happening economically right now. It was created to protect from hyperinflation, to protect your buying power as a regular person. It was a store of value to keep your wealth out of the hands of the government and the banks, who can just basically change the value of your wealth at a whim by printing more money. The reason Bitcoin was created is happening right now. So if I know why Bitcoin was created and I see what is happening right now, then I know that I want to basically put my funds into the thing that was created to protect me from the thing I see happening, right? I see the hyperinflation. I see the the supply chain breaking. I see all this happening. I know Bitcoin was created because of what happened in the 2008 housing crisis. And I know that it was created to protect us from what is happening right now. Hence why I am investing in Bitcoin over everything else. 30 Miner Apparel, thanks for the $4.99. Love the idea of a crypto mining morning show. Glad to see you're online. Glad to see you here, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Richard, thanks for the €5, I believe that was. Raymond, thanks for the 20 NOK. Do you mine helium or plan to start? I do not mine helium. I was supposed to be sent a miner and I never got one, so I don't know. Amelia, thanks for the 15, whatever that is. Hey, I wanted to get into mining and build my own rig. Would you recommend it? Right now, building a rig, if it's your first rig, is a little rough because of trying to find GPUs. That being said, if you want to get into just kind of playing around with it, just go try to buy a gaming PC, right? Buy a pre-built gaming PC that you can then utilize to just like learn how to mine and set your miners up, you know, maybe install a different OS and play around with that. See if it's something that you enjoy doing, because at the end of the day, what you are doing as a cryptocurrency miner, especially if we are talking about a GPU cryptocurrency miner, is you are just working in IT. And the only kind of benefit to it is if you were, you know, a lifelong IT career person like myself, then, you know, you're getting to work for yourself instead. You know, you're going to deal with eventually, like as you start scaling up, you're going to deal with networking problems, power issues, and just infrastructure as a whole. That can't be understated, or overstated, enough, is that like, you do have to enjoy crypto mining a little bit to keep it going. And that's just the way it's going to be. Raymond does ask, would you buy an L7 for $22,000? And yes, I would. No, I haven't. Last I checked, they were all sold out, unfortunately. Has anyone found a miner that's compatible on mining Grin with the RX 6700 XT? No, I don't think so. I think I saw Mind Your Biz. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you here. Make sure you guys go follow and subscribe to Mind Your Biz. We already gave him a shout out earlier. Anyways, at the beginning of the stream today. We got 6 minutes and then I'm shutting the stream down. Let's see. I really need to go get into my office because I need the internet working. The cats are killing my allergies. I'm getting ready for jiu-jitsu too. That's where we're headed after this. Let's see. Dustin said I did exactly that. Bought a 3070 pre-built and learned on the PC, then bought 6 3060 Ti's. Awesome, Dustin. Scott Schultz says I never super chat, but here's my 6900 XT profits for the day. Keep up these morning streams. Nice to chat with other psychos. You mean miners. That is something that that I think is hard to explain to people. What the risk you're taking with mining, and like, or even like if I'm doing like the YouTube and the mining and stuff, the risk is high. The reward can be high too, but it's also super scary. And if you don't have the, like, if you're risk adverse, it's not something that you're going to be comfortable getting into, right? And like, I've proven that because I got out during the last bear market. Got super depressed too because I thought I had built up a good enough channel to survive and I wouldn't have to work a day job, but that didn't work out. Hopefully this time I'll figure it out. We'll have to see what happens. Thanks for the $1.39. Let's see. Trying to go through this. What do I think about Ergo? You're filling your bags mining ETH and swap to Ergo. I am filling Ergo bags too. Look, like, we need this Ergo Dex to launch real bad. And we need that Ergo Dex to let us easily swap to Cardano. But the fact that like the Ergo wallet and Cardano wallet are the same, the fact that it's an oracle, the fact that it's clear that these are going to participate together, and that Cardano is taking off so much is super promising for Ergo. Super promising. So I'm hoping that will happen. Vassal, you're the reason I got into mining, son of a tech. Awesome. Congratulations. Emilia, I'm only 19, so I wouldn't say I'm an IT or anything, but interested in those type of things. Also, I don't know if price is good, but I can get a 3060 Ti. Okay. I mean, yeah, like, if like, I'm just saying, don't go, just buy like a pre-built PC and then see if you like it, right? And if you like it, then just keep going. You'll go from there. So Alcast says, if you only have one PC, have you tried recommend using a virtualization software? So, that you can do that and pass the GPU through, but it typically isn't going to get really good hash rate. Your better bet, at least in my humble opinion, is to essentially, so make sure that you encrypt your drive first of all, like your basically like your Windows OS drive or whatever. I have an entire video on it. It's called like Mine and Game Safely. And then you're just going to build a Hive OS USB drive. And then when you are done gaming for the day, you'll reboot and boot to your Hive OS drive, which will then start mining. Making sure that you set up encryption on your other Windows drive. Or if you just are super paranoid, you can do what I was doing for a while, which was just literally unplugging the hard drive from that had Windows on it and then rebooting. It all depends on how paranoid you are. Richard, thanks for the €20. Raymond asks again, do I have light hash rate cards? What do you mine on? Yeah, I have light hash rate cards. They're mining Ethereum. Their 3080 Ti is doing 92 mega hash a second. So they're still more profitable on Ethereum. They're doing pretty good with the latest unlock from NB Miner. Super Slot Hero says, is it beneficial to buy light hash rate versions of the 3070, 3060 Ti at around $8 to $1,000? So what? Like, you can always go in. Let's say, right, so just go to what to mine. Let's say a 3070, whatever. Which is interesting. The light hash rate model is doing better on Flux. But like, let's say it's just Ethereum. No, Ethereum's still more profitable because of the power cost of Flux. You see that? Anyways, so 351. If you said like, what'd you say? 1,000 or whatever. You could just do like 1,000 divided by 351, which would give you your ROI at 284 days. I mean, that seems really bad to me. So no, I wouldn't. What would I pay for it? Let's say, hold on. March, April, May, June. That's 6. Where are we in? November, December. Got 8 months. So let's just do, I don't know, this is quick and dirty math. So let's do 8 months, 224 days times 351. Nope, I did that wrong. No, that was right. Yeah, that was right. 786.24 is what I'd want to pay for one of those. And the idea is like, you can usually like negotiate that. Like you're going to get, that'll pay you off before ETH goes proof of stake, right? That would kind of be the idea. At the same time, a lot of people think ETH is going to hit 10,000 pretty easy, which means you can take all these numbers and double them. Or all the profits and double them, right? If you held it, and depending on when you held it, what you bought, all that interesting stuff. So there you go. I'm going to head off to Jiu-Jitsu. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Thanks for all the super chats. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to see me here every morning with more content, doing the live videos. I will also be trying to do other content and videos as well in the evening, so stay tuned for those. This evening is going to be a little weird. I'll probably be pretty late with the video because I will be going to take my son to jiu-jitsu as well. So I'm headed to jiu-jitsu now. I'm going to hit the gym after that. Then I'm going to hit the farm, try to get some videos recorded, and then take my son to jiu-jitsu. That'll get over at like 6 o'clock. So really, feasibly, it's possible that the video today doesn't even come out till 9 p.m. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for another crypto mining morning show. And that one will probably be, once again, at 9:45 a.m., maybe a little earlier tomorrow. And then I'm going to be shooting for 9:45. Maybe Wednesdays has to be earlier. Tomorrow I do have someplace to be. So at, I think, 12:30, and it's a little further away than expected, but we'll see. I'll see you next Tuesday.